Now at 10 and stream crossroadstoday.com, a woman is hospitalized by a fire that destroyed her home.
Texans are getting ready for a winter storm that is bringing widespread cold, rain, snow, and ice.
Yoakum leaders meet in closed session to discuss the city manager's performance during his first 6 months on the job.
We'll be taking a close look at that winter storm. So far, no rain in our area just yet, but you can see out here the snow has begun in West Texas, and that's really headed to the northeast. We'll have all the latest on that coming up in a moment.
And Calhoun head coach Richard Whittaker retires after 20 years as head coach and AD. I'll tell you more in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker. And this is an alert day. Now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. The cold stays around, but Mac, you're bringing some wet stuff now.
Yes, this is the alert for today from tonight through Friday in all of the crossroads. If we can lower the third, there you go. We've got rain, heavy rain at times, and will stay above freezing. That's sort of the good news for us. We, of course, are looking at the rain, which is actually down south of Corpus Christi right now. That'll be drifting up into our area. But here's the main event. Here's the snow and the ice that's already begun in West Texas. The big triggering mechanism, the low, is beginning to move. So this is going to be tomorrow, a long day in Texas. And if you're going north of Waco, you're going to be dealing with winter storm. We'll be talking about our heavy rain for tomorrow through Friday coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Well, Texas officials are prioritizing public safety as this winter storm approaches, activating the National Guard to help out. Governor Greg Abbott held a press conference today after getting briefed on the state's response to the severe weather expected to hit. Abbott says the storm will likely last through Friday morning and mentioned that more than 345 warming centers are open across the state. He also confirms that hundreds of National Guard members are ready to assist with storm operations. Crews have been preparing roads for several days.
The Texas National Guard has been heavily involved. They have activated hundreds of National Guard personnel and equipment in support of winter weather operations. Resources are staged across areas of concern. Responders are stocked with water, ready-to-eat meals and blankets, and are prepared to transport stranded motorists to nearby warming stations.
Residents are encouraged to be weather aware as the storm moves across the region. And as this winter weather moves in, communities across Texas are gearing up to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, shelters are opening their doors, road crews are working around the clock, and local organizations are stepping up to ensure the most vulnerable have a warm place to go. Here's more on how people are preparing for the cold blast.
Right about now, a lot of us are bracing for this blast of winter weather that we'll receive, and that means folks across DFW are making sure everyone is safe.
You guys doing all right? They getting you taken care of?
For every cot that you see,
We could be looking at, 14 to 1,500 people on a single night.
David Stucker hopes it will serve as a warm place for someone who needs it. This is the second shelter Austin Street Shelter has opened, and they're planning to open another one.
It's hard out there. If you're unsheltered and we have a weather incident come through like this, people take damage.
The city of Dallas opening the Tower building this afternoon because of capacity. TxDOT crews are working around the clock, treating the roads.
We've got everything from our dump trucks that help us spread the salt and sand. We've got our spray trucks for the brine.
Tony Hartzell with TxDOT says crews are working 12-hour shifts. And take a drive to Arlington, home of the Cotton Bowl. The show will go on.
I'm still optimistic that even if we have snow on Thursday, that with our consultation with our team at AT&T and the staff, AT&T Stadium and the staff, we're going to be fine.
Because whether it's helping someone get a warm meal,
Us doing this is actually saving our community.
North Texans are getting prepared for what's to come.
Somehow we will make it work.
In Dallas, I'm Richard Solomon.
The Yoakum City Council holds a special meeting to review the city manager's performance in his role.
It's been 6 months since Michael Mitchell was hired to lead city operations in a role that's had high turnover in recent years. 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman joins us now with details. Amaya?
Yes, Shauna and Don, thank you. The City Council meets in closed session tonight to review the City Manager Michael Mitchell performance so far. During the session, council members highlighted his accomplishments and identified key areas for improvement. They met for several hours but did not take any formal action afterwards. The City Manager's seat has had turnovers the past few years. First, Kevin Coleman left in 2023 after 12 years as city manager. William Lynn was hired next, but was released from the role after a few months. Mitchell is the latest hire overseeing city operations since July 8th of 2024. Before this, he was an assistant city manager and school board member.
Yes, we want to grow it, and we want him to take the lead on that and give us a good direction.
The council emphasized their commitment to ongoing dialogue and collaborations as they work to shape the city future under Mitchell leadership. They will have another meeting Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. And that's it. Sean and Don, back to you.
All right, thank you, Amaya. Well, a house fire sends a Victoria woman to the hospital. That fire broke out around 10:30 last night in the 100 block of Banbury Lane. Flames spread quickly coming out of the garage roof. Then the roof collapsed, making it a struggle for firefighters. The home is a total loss. The homeowner is in the hospital, but we are told that she is recovering well. Neighbors say she has multiple cats, and it's unclear if all of them made it out safely. The Victoria Fire Marshal is investigating the cause. This brings us to our viewer poll today. How often do you check your smoke alarm? Once a year? Every 6 months? Never? Or you don't have one? We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And similar as earlier tonight, just over half of the voters say that they check their smoke alarms once a year to make sure that they are good and operational. So thank you to everyone who voted this evening.
The Jackson County Sheriff's Office wants the public's help in identifying the owner or driver of this white Toyota Tacoma. On December 26, 2024, 2 victims were targeted in a theft forgery scam in Edna after meeting a man named Jonathan at a convenience store in Victoria. The man paid the victims with counterfeit money before fleeing the scene. Surveillance video shows the suspect's vehicle with a sticker in the bottom right corner of the back window. If you have any information, please contact the Jackson County Sheriff's Office at 361-782-3371.
The medical director of the Texas Medical Board has retired less than 2 weeks after conservative lawmakers published his employment with a Planned Parenthood laboratory. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. Well, COVID-19 hospitalization rates have dropped to record lows since 2020, but the virus still poses a significant threat to seniors and those with serious health issues.
Here's a look at the numbers and how to protect yourself.
A CDC report found that from October 2023 to April 2024, people 65 and older made up 75% of all COVID hospitalizations. And those 75 and older had hospitalization rates nearly 24 times higher than people under 50. American Indian, Alaska Native, and Black adults are at higher risk, as are people with heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. The report noted that most of the people who were hospitalized had not received the latest COVID vaccine. Experts stress that vaccination and hand washing are the best ways to prevent severe illness. You should also check in with your doctor at the first sign of symptoms, especially if you fall into a high-risk group. With this Medical Minute, I'm Allison Cossack.
Caring for a real pet can be tough for people with Alzheimer's, but Tombot's robotic puppy, Genie, is here to help. This lifelike yellow lab responds to touch and voice, wagging its tail like the real thing. Inspired by founder Tom Stevens' mother, who lost her dog after being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, Genie is designed to combat loneliness, anxiety, and depression. With new behaviors and realistic interactions, it's a game changer for dementia care. Golden Crescent Habitat for Humanity is hosting a Veterans Celebration Thursday. The event runs from 9 a.m. until noon at 4103 North Navarro Street. There will be information available about the Habitat for Humanity Veterans Repair Program. Veterans can find out if they qualify for the program.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Local officials take the oath of office on New Year's Day, and workers discover historical remnants during a renovation of a donated building. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. And you can watch videos from Crossroads Today anytime on YouTube. Just be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. President-elect Trump turns to the Supreme Court in a last-minute bid to block his hush money sentencing.
Also ahead, homes lost, lives upended, thousands evacuated as deadly fires tear through Southern California. We have the very latest on the devastating impact.
Welcome back. President-elect Donald Trump is asking the Supreme Court to block his New York hush money sentencing that's set for Friday. This follows a New York appeals judge refusing to delay the case on Tuesday. Trump's lawyers argue presidential immunity, recognized by the Supreme Court last year, should apply. Judge Juan Merchan disagrees, ruling immunity starts after Trump is sworn in, but plans to issue an unconditional discharge. The Supreme Court has asked New York prosecutors to respond by tomorrow morning.
President-elect Trump was at the Capitol today for a meeting with Senate Republicans. After speaking with GOP lawmakers, Trump said it was a unified meeting with a great turnout. The president-elect also arrived at the Capitol to pay his respects to former President Jimmy Carter. This visit appears to mark Trump's first appearance at the Capitol since the January 6, 2021 attack.
The nation will honor former President Jimmy Carter on Thursday with a day of mourning declared by President Biden. Carter's state funeral will take place at the Washington National Cathedral, where Biden is expected to deliver a eulogy. Former President Trump has also confirmed his attendance. To honor the day, the U.S. Postal Service will not deliver mail, and the Supreme Court, stock market, and government offices will be closed. The last national day of mourning was in 2018 for President George H.W. Bush. And Capitol Police arrest a man with a machete and 3 knives. They say security spotted the 44-year-old during screening trying to enter the Capitol Visitor Center. It happened while guests were lined up to view former President Jimmy Carter lying in state. The man is charged with multiple counts of carrying a dangerous weapon. Capitol Police say there is no threat to Congress.
The FBI has released a new photo of Shamsud-Din Jabbar, the suspect in the Bourbon Street terrorist attack in New Orleans. Authorities say Jabbar traveled to New Orleans before the attack that resulted in the death of 14 people and injuries to more than 24 others. The FBI reports the attacker was 100% inspired by ISIS and acted alone. In the newly released image, Jabbar could be seen riding through the French Quarter on a bicycle on October 31st, 2024. The FBI is now asking for anyone in the quarter that day between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. on that date to contact them if they have information that may help. Now to the fires. Officials are working to get Los Angeles residents out of the way as 5 wildfires burn out of control. All are 0% contained. At least 5 people are reported dead so far.
Strong winds and bone-dry conditions are making it tough for the already stretched thin crews to fight these rapidly spreading fires. Lee Waldman is in Los Angeles County with the latest updates.
People who live near the Eden fire burning in Altadena are worried their homes are gone. The deadly blaze ballooned to more than 10,000 acres overnight and is now threatening about 13,000 buildings.
It's been moving throughout the night. It was clear last night. I came back this morning, fires and the winds moved it this way.
The Palisades fire is now over 15,800 acres and has already destroyed at least 1,000 structures, making it the most destructive ever in Los Angeles County, according to CAL FIRE.
My neighborhood is entirely burnt down. My elementary school is probably burnt down. My high school just burnt down. And my middle school might burn down.
Tens of thousands of people are under evacuation orders.
The first thing is rescue operations. We want you out. Houses can be replaced, all that, lives cannot.
Thursday is expected to see critical fire danger stretching from Santa Barbara to San Diego. The White House says President Joe Biden has officially approved a major disaster declaration for California, unlocking federal resources for survivors.
I mean, it is heartbreaking. We lost everything, and not only us, everyone around us. When I was standing in my front yard, I was looking at this giant red glowing fire that was just enveloping everything, and it was just heart-wrenching.
Reporting in Los Angeles County, I'm Lee Waldman.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. A new era of law enforcement in DeWitt County and 2 other Crossroads counties started on January 1st. And Yorktown is transformed into a Christmas wonderland. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're looking at 43 degrees right about now. The rain has not begun, but it should be here certainly by sunrise. Our high today got up to 47. After 40 as the overnight low, we were looking at about 35, 36, so it wasn't even that cold, but obviously it was cold enough if you have to stand outdoors. Of course, the alert days are up. We're going to be talking about how the winter storm is going to affect us here in the Crossroads. All that coming up in a moment. Well, good evening, everyone. The alert flags are up, and for us, this is what's going to happen between tonight and Friday. We, of course, in all the crossroads, we're going to have rain, heavy at times, but we're going to be above freezing, and that's going to be helpful for us. You can see how the cloud deck has thickened up over the area, but the rain really is still south of Corpus Christi. Meanwhile, out in West Texas, the snow has begun. They already had a little bit of snow in the Midland area, and all of that is moving northeast. So you can pretty well track it north of Waco by tomorrow. Now, what about our rain? Our rain will be actually substantial. Once it begins, it will start getting heavier, and tomorrow night, Thursday night, into Friday morning is when the heaviest rain will be occurring. So we don't have any winter warnings up for our area, but you can see all these in dark blue. These are all areas that are expecting an ice and snow kind of wintry mix, but the actual snow probably north of Waco to Dallas and to the northeast toward Texarkana. Dallas is looking for about 3 to 5 inches, and this map will show you where the possible ice will be. Now, this is over, shall we say, over the course of the entire storm, but for us, we're down here. You go up San Antonio, you go up I-35, and you can see you don't run into anything other than the hill country until you get to about maybe Waxahachie or north of Waco. But through the Metroplex is going to, let's just say that everybody in Dallas should stay home tomorrow, work from the house, make phone calls, that kind of stuff. Here is the situation now. There you see the stuff that's south of us and the stuff developing in the western areas. And this is the area of low pressure that's going to give us all the weather. This is the one that brought the 100-mile-an-hour winds to Southern California. Now that it's dropping down to Baja, they're going to get a little bit of a break by tomorrow. And then it does cross over Texas, producing all kinds of problems. Now, most of it, of course, to north of us. But for us, the significant rainfall is going to be very interesting. We have the total of how much we're going to get. Now, here is the future tracker. Here's Thursday in the morning. You see how the rain begins, okay? Now, where is the ice and snow? It's in the hill country. And then we go to Wednesday in the morning. You can see how we're still, Thursday evening rather, we're still getting the significant rainfall around here. We're no longer in green, we're getting a couple of yellows. That's probably, 1 to 2 inches of rain per hour that we might be watching. Then the storm starts moving northeast. Now, the snow and ice will end in Midland and then move over into the Metroplex. You can see how the Metroplex all the way just south to Waxahachie gets that stuff. And then by Friday, middle of the day, the storm actually begins to pull away. And by Friday night, it actually clears much of northeast Texas. And by Friday night, we'll be clearing out as well. That sets us up for a fairly quiet Saturday and Sunday, but a little sunshine, but it'll still be cold. However, the big news is, for Dallas, they'll be, picking up the sand and all the cones and all the people that are stuck on the highway. So treacherous driving for the Metroplex. As far as we're concerned, here's the amount of rain that we're looking at storm total, okay? So from now through Friday, San Antonio, here's Victoria. And you can see in the purples here, that puts us into 1 to 2 inch ranges. So this will be a good rainfall, not just a little bitty winter one. And then it does pick up maybe 3 inches of rain out here along the upper coast of Texas. So here is an interesting video to show you. This is the satellite. There's the fires in LA, and there's the smoke plume that goes all the way out into the Pacific. So for tomorrow, we're looking at cloudy skies, rather dreary conditions, especially in the afternoon and evening. 47 the high temperature in most areas. And then by Saturday, we actually clear up, get a little bit of sunshine, but it'll still be on the cool side. So we'll watch and wait to see if the Texas winter storm is a problem. If there is any news for us, we'll certainly be the first to get it out to you. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And we'll toss it over to Maxwell with sports.
All right, thanks, Mac. And after the break, I'm going to highlight both Shiner and Yoakum All-District Football Awards here for both of these teams. I'll tell you more here in sports. All right, Kraus. So earlier this afternoon, we had some breaking news with Calhoun head coach and AD Richard Whittaker retiring there from the school district. And Whittaker, again, will still be, though, with Calhoun there until the spring semester, though, there for, again, Richard Whittaker again. But he did say there to the Port Lavaca Wave, I love the black and gold and thoroughly enjoyed my time here. I love Calhoun. This is my home. And again, I mean, Coach Whittaker left a great legacy there for Calhoun for 20 years, and he won 7 district titles, 9 area championships, and reached the state quarterfinals 4 times and the state semifinals there once. So his last game there with Calhoun, I saw there in person there. He faced, again, Lavernia Bears in the regional semifinals, went all the way down to the wire there until they lost their heartbreaker to 3 points. So it was an instant classic, and again, we saw the emotion there through his eyes there at that game. And again, just in general, I wish him luck there at the next, wherever he goes there in his life. And again, we'll have actually a reaction to him about how he felt about this tomorrow there, again, for 25 News Now at 6 and then at 10. Now, going on to the next thing there, the Shiner Comanches announced their 15-2A All-District Awards, and here are some of the big accomplishments. First there with quarterback Carson Schutte winning the Most Valuable Player Award there, and then senior linebacker Kai Adamic there won the Defensive Player of the Award there for Shiner. Then the freshman receiver and defensive back there, Jarvis Williams, was the co-newcomer there of the year. And again, Shiner, they got multiple awards there, also for first-team offense and first-team defense there for their team. Congrats to their Shiner getting all the way there to the championship game, and again, props to their team, see if they can get back to that status there next year. Now, how about the Yoakum Bulldogs? They also had multiple players get first-team offense there in the District 12 3A Division I there, all-district awards. And for first-team offense, it went to quarterback Trey Cuellar, wide receiver Xavier Barnett, also wide receiver Jamar Hopkins, and then kick returner there Keenan Dilworth also got awards there for first-team offense. And on first-team defense, Donovan Toussaint, Brett Lurch, their defensive lineman, and then defensive lineman Luis Massey also got the awards there. So just like Shiner, got a lot of people out there for Yoakum, so congrats there for all the Yoakum players as well for getting those awards. Now over to some college football again. Everyone's excited here to talk about Texas and Ohio State, but there's another playoff semifinal game going on with the Capital One Orange Bowl there in Miami, Florida tomorrow night between the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and Penn State Nittany Lions. That'll be there at 6:30 p.m. there on ESPN. And Notre Dame won the Sugar Bowl game there last week against Georgia 23-10. Penn State then beat Boise State there on New Year's Eve 31-14. So for both of these teams, they're hoping they can just get back on track and have a chance to reach the national championship.
The mindset doesn't change every week for us. Just like I said, just being consistent in our preparation, keeping the week very similar to how it's been every single week this year, and just having that 1-0 mentality that we always talk about. Taking it day by day, taking each meeting step by step, and then ultimately being prepared for the game when that comes on Thursday.
Hard because, one, that's the type of person that they recruit to Penn State, but two, that's just kind of like their bread and butter. Like, once again, like they just play hard and they love their school. You can tell that, you know, it kind of means a little bit more to them. So, yeah, they're gonna fly around and play really hard.
For these teams, again, trying to reach the national championship game there in Atlanta, Georgia there on January 20th. Again, the winner of that game will face either Ohio State or Texas there. Again, that will be on Friday night. That's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shauna, back to you.
All right, thank you, Max, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a Memphis celebration fit for a king. Look at all those Elvis fans. How Elvis Presley's birthday is honored. And because it's today, I'm all shook up.
This day is sure to lift you up. Thursday is National Balloon Ascension Day. January 9th commemorates the first hot air balloon flight in the U.S. In 1793, French aeronaut Jean-Pierre Blanchard sent a hydrogen gas balloon above a prison in Philadelphia. That's how it all got started. Today, hot air ballooning is enjoyed from the ground as well as in the air, also a tool for weather and research. The largest balloon festival in the U.S. is in Albuquerque, New Mexico in October.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday to the king of rock and roll. Fans of Elvis swarmed the front lawn of his Graceland home in Memphis Wednesday to celebrate what would have been his 90th birthday. Wow. Oh man, the ceremony included singing Happy Birthday to the King, a city proclamation declaring January 8th as Elvis Presley Day, and a gold Elvis-themed cake. Elvis is one of the highest-selling musicians of all time, with more than 1 billion records sold worldwide. He was born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi, and died August 16, 1977, at age 42. About 500 million people visit Graceland each year. It became a National Historical Landmark in 2006. I don't know how many people know that Elvis, was born on this day in Tupelo, Mississippi. So was his twin brother, who passed away shortly after that.
Well,
yeah, he was a twin. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know Elvis had a twin.
Yes, indeed.
I'm surprised all of those celebrating weren't dressed like him either.
I know, with the long sideburns and all that.
It was too cold for the bell bottoms.
It's getting too cold here, man.
Well, yeah, there's a problem. Now, the rain will begin here in the Crossroads overnight. By morning, I expect it to be rather sloppy out there, and then Thursday night into Friday is when we get a substantial amount of rain. I mean, we could see 1 to 2 inches over the next 2 days. The good thing is that by Friday night, the storm does pass over us, and it will clear us out just in time for the weekend, but it will still be on the chilly side. So we've got the alert flags up, and certainly if anything additional comes in, we'll certainly send you the tweets and the phone things and all that stuff.
All right. Well, New Orleans is celebrating the start of the Carnival season while the city is still reeling from the New Year's Day terror attack. Hundreds of people fill the streets for the annual Joan of Arc parade through the French Quarter. People who came out to watch the parades said that while the tragedy does have them on edge, the spirit of Carnival is something that they think will help the city heal. So great that they're able to continue those celebrations.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
25 News Now Sunrise, 5 a.m.